What Successful People Do Differently by David Russo. Introduction. Why this book exists. Every day, people chase success, but few stop to ask, what does success actually mean for me? Too often, we inherit definitions from culture, peers, or social media, and then spend decades running towards someone else's idea of winning. This book is different. It's about understanding the habits, mindset, and actions that genuinely drive progress, not imitation. Not luck, not shortcuts, but consistent, practical steps you can take in your own life. Success is not a trophy on a shelf. It's a way of living that aligns your daily actions with your values and aspirations. It's waking up with intention, making decisions with clarity, and moving forward even when the path feels uncertain. And while the journey is personal, the patterns are universal. The people who achieve remarkable results don't rely on magic, inspiration, or sheer talent. They rely on repeatable choices, intentional habits, and a mindset that turns obstacles into opportunities. This audiobook is your guide to those patterns. You'll discover why successful people define their own goals, take responsibility before the world demands it, and act even when they don't feel ready. You'll learn how they manage their energy, think in decades instead of days, and create systems that make success inevitable. You'll see how they turn feedback into growth, choose influences that lift them, and confront fear with courage. And most importantly, you'll understand that the journey is measured by progress, not perfection. By the time you finish listening, you won't just know what successful people do differently, you'll be equipped to do it yourself. Each chapter is a step, a tool, a mindset, and a reminder that success is not reserved for a select few. It's built by those willing to think clearly, act intentionally, and grow relentlessly. Your path won't be perfect, and it shouldn't be. But with the right approach, your results will be inevitable. Chapter 1. They define success for themselves. Most people never stop to ask the most important question, what does success mean to me? Instead, they borrow someone else's definition: money, status, popularity, or approval. And then they spend their lives chasing it, often feeling empty even when they have it all. Successful people are different. They start by deciding what truly matters to them. They define their own version of winning. Maybe it's freedom, creativity, or personal growth. Maybe it's contribution, stability, or the ability to learn every day. Whatever it is, they name it clearly. They refuse to let someone else's checklist of life dictate their direction. Clarity is powerful. When you know what success looks like for you, choices become simpler. You stop wasting energy on distractions, on comparison, on what should matter. You start saying yes to the right opportunities and no to everything else. Life suddenly feels less chaotic because your compass is calibrated. And here's a truth that changes everything. Success is not a finish line. It's alignment. Alignment between what you care about most and what you actually do every day. When your actions reflect your values, when your effort is in service of your vision, success isn't something you hope for, it becomes something you live. So today, start by asking yourself the question successful people ask first: what does winning mean for me? Don't look to others for answers. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Imagine it clearly. Make it so real that every decision you make afterward can be measured against it. Defining your own success is the first step to owning your life. Everything else, discipline, courage, habits, flows from this foundation. Without it, you'll be busy. With it, you'll be unstoppable. Chapter 2. They take responsibility early. Life doesn't wait for perfect conditions, and neither do successful people. Most people spend their time blaming circumstances, waiting for someone else to solve their problems, or hoping the stars will align. But successful people? They take responsibility early, fully, and without excuses. This doesn't mean they blame themselves for everything that goes wrong. It means they ask a different question: what can I control right now? That question shifts focus from frustration to action. It turns obstacles into opportunities and inertia into momentum. Every small step they take builds confidence, skills, and progress, even when the situation feels unfair. Responsibility is the lever that moves life forward. The moment you stop waiting for rescue, the moment you stop hoping for perfect timing, you unlock power you didn't realize you had. You stop being a passenger and start being a driver. You stop reacting and start creating. Taking responsibility isn't glamorous. It's not a viral quote or a motivational poster. It's a quiet, daily choice, choosing to act, to learn, to adapt, and to own your life instead of handing it over to luck or circumstance. It's what separates those who talk about success from those who actually achieve it. Here's the secret: the earlier you take responsibility, the faster you grow. The faster you grow, the more control you gain over your future. And control is freedom, the freedom to pursue your vision, make your own decisions, and live by your own terms. So start today. Take responsibility for one thing you've been avoiding, one area where you've been waiting for permission or perfect timing. Own it. Act on it. Momentum begins the moment you stop waiting. Responsibility isn't a burden, it's the key to becoming unstoppable. Chapter 3. They build before they feel ready. Most people wait. They wait for confidence, for the perfect timing, for all the stars to align. They think readiness comes before action. Successful people know it works the other way around. Confidence comes from doing. They start before they feel ready. They begin with uncertainty, with questions, even with fear. They experiment, learn, adjust, and grow along the way. Each small action is a building block. Each mistake is not a failure, it's proof that they're participating, that they're moving forward. Waiting for readiness is a trap. It feels safe, but it leads to stagnation. Motion creates clarity, not the other way around. Every step you take, no matter how imperfect, teaches you more than planning ever could. Every effort compounds into skill, insight, and momentum. Successful people don't wait for certainty, they embrace learning through action. They know that hesitation costs more than mistakes. The path to mastery is paved with trial, error, and persistence, not flawless starts. They build systems, habits, and routines that make motion inevitable, and they trust the process to shape their confidence. So start before you feel ready. Write the first paragraph, make the first call, take the first step. The moment you begin, you give yourself a chance to grow. The moment you act, fear loses its power. Motion turns uncertainty into skill, hesitation into progress, and dreams into reality. Confidence is a result, not a prerequisite. Build first. Learn second. Grow relentlessly. And remember, you will never feel completely ready, and that's exactly when it's time to start. Chapter 4. They manage energy, not just time. We all get the same 24 hours. But here's the truth, not all hours are equal. You can schedule your day perfectly, but if your energy is low, nothing gets done. Successful people understand this distinction. They don't just manage time, they manage energy. Energy is flexible. It rises and falls, and it responds to how you treat your body, mind, and focus. Successful people pay attention to their sleep, their nutrition, their focus, and their breaks. They know when to push and when to rest. They don't confuse busyness with productivity, because they understand that being active is not the same as being effective. They protect their best hours fiercely. These are the hours when their concentration is sharpest, their creativity is highest, and their decisions have the most impact. They schedule deep work during these windows and guard them against distraction. Less important tasks are deferred or delegated. Managing energy also means managing mental load. Successful people know their minds need space to think, reflect, and recover. They don't cram every moment with activity, they allow for pauses, for breathing, for recalibration. That's where clarity and innovation emerge. The result: by managing energy instead of just time, they accomplish more, avoid burnout, and make their efforts count when it matters most. Energy is the multiplier that turns hours into results, effort into progress, and potential into performance. Start paying attention to your energy. Notice when you're at your best, and align your most important work with those moments. Protect it, nurture it, and don't waste it on what doesn't matter. Time is fixed, but energy is yours to shape. Master it, and you'll unlock levels of productivity, creativity, and fulfillment most people never reach. Chapter 5. They practice long-term thinking. Most people live for the next reward, the instant gratification, the quick win, the easy fix. Successful people think differently. They play the long game. They see beyond the immediate, beyond the headlines, beyond the moment, and focus on what truly matters over time. Long-term thinking is about asking powerful questions. Will this choice still matter a year from now? What habit am I reinforcing? What does this action lead to in 5, 10, 20 steps? These questions shift the lens from short-term convenience to meaningful progress. They turn daily decisions into building blocks for the life you want. Small, consistent actions are invisible at first. They often feel unimportant, even tedious. But over weeks, months, and years, they compound into extraordinary results. Saving a little more, learning a little more, practicing a skill a little more, these are the seeds of mastery and freedom. Successful people know that success isn't about one dramatic leap. It's about the accumulation of choices made deliberately, consistently, and with patience. They resist temptation when it threatens their long-term goals. They invest time, energy, and focus into actions that will pay off when others have grown impatient or given up. The magic of long-term thinking is that it makes life predictable in the most important ways. It turns discipline into momentum, effort into advantage, and patience into power. And it creates a freedom most people never experience, the freedom to shape your future rather than react to it. Start practicing long-term thinking today. Let your daily actions align with the results you want to see a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Small choices matter more than occasional brilliance. Consistency, patience, and vision, these are the quiet forces that turn ordinary lads into extraordinary ones. Chapter 6. They learn from feedback without letting it define them. Feedback is everywhere. Praise, criticism, advice, or judgment, it can lift you up or tear you down. Most people let it control them. They celebrate when it flatters them and crumble when it criticizes them. Successful people do something different. They listen carefully, learn from it, and then move forward without losing themselves. Feedback is information, not identity. It's a tool, not a verdict. Successful people separate the message from the messenger, the insight from the emotion. They ask, what can I learn here? What can I adjust? How can this help me grow? They avoid letting ego interfere, because growth happens when curiosity steps in and defensiveness steps out. They understand that every opinion is filtered through someone else's experience, bias, and perspective. Not every piece of criticism is accurate, and not every compliment is earned. The key is discernment, taking what is useful and leaving the rest. Learning from feedback is not passive. It's active. It's a choice to iterate, to improve, and to experiment. It's about being honest with yourself while staying resilient. You keep your sense of self intact, but you remain flexible enough to evolve. Here's the truth: growth is uncomfortable. It will sting. Feedback can bruise your ego. But every piece of honest information is a chance to level up. The people who succeed aren't those who avoid critique, they're the ones who absorb it intelligently, apply it selectively, and use it to move forward faster. So embrace feedback, but don't let it define you. Listen, learn, adjust, and keep building the version of yourself that only you can become. The stronger your foundation, the less any outside opinion can shake you, and the more unstoppable you'll be. Chapter 7. They create systems, not just goals. Goals are important, they give direction. But without systems, goals are just wishes. Most people focus on the finish line, the number, the title, the milestone. Successful people focus on the engine, the daily actions, the routines, the structures that make results inevitable. A system is a way of working that reduces reliance on motivation or willpower. It's what happens when you design your environment, habits, and processes so that success becomes the natural outcome. It's waking up each day knowing exactly what you need to do and having it set up so you can do it consistently. Successful people don't rely on bursts of inspiration. They build momentum through repetition. They know that small, consistent actions performed every day compound into massive results over time. Systems remove friction, reduce decision fatigue, and make progress predictable. Think of it this way: a goal says, I want to run a marathon. A system says, I run 4 times a week. I eat to fuel my body. I track my progress, and I rest properly. The goal is the destination. The system is the vehicle. Without the vehicle, the destination is meaningless. Systems also make success less stressful. Motivation fluctuates. Life happens. Obstacles appear, but a well-built system keeps you moving forward no matter what. It turns action from a choice into a habit, from a struggle into a rhythm, from effort into growth. So start designing your systems today. Focus on the process, not just the prize. Build routines, adjust environments, and make it easier to take the next step than to procrastinate. When your system works, motivation becomes optional and progress becomes inevitable. Chapter 8. They choose their influences carefully. You are the sum of what you consume. The books you read, the podcasts you listen to, the conversations you have, and the people you surround yourself with, they shape your thoughts, your habits, and ultimately your life. Most people let influences happen by accident. Successful people choose them deliberately. They pay attention to their environment because they know it can either lift them or limit them. They spend time with people who challenge them, inspire them, and push them toward growth. They seek ideas that expand their perspective, not reinforce stagnation. They filter out negativity and distractions that drain energy and obscure focus. Influence isn't about constant positivity or blind cheerleading. It's about alignment. It's about surrounding yourself with voices and experiences that raise your standards, spark your curiosity, and keep you moving forward. It's about consciously selecting the inputs that determine your thoughts, moods, and actions. Think about it. If your circle normalizes excuses, procrastination, or mediocrity, that's what you'll absorb. If your circle celebrates effort, learning, and courage, that's what becomes natural. Success isn't just about what you do, it's about what you let in, what you allow to shape your thinking, and what you reinforce in your environment. Successful people aren't perfect in their choices. They occasionally falter, they occasionally allow toxic influences, but they correct course quickly. They understand that influence compounds over time, just like habits. Small exposures add up to massive shifts in mindset, behavior, and results. So take control of what shapes you. Curate your environment. Choose your friends, your media, your mentors, and even your routines wisely. Every input matters. Every influence counts. Make yours intentional, and you'll find yourself becoming exactly the person you were capable of being. Chapter 9. They act despite fear. Fear doesn't disappear for successful people. It doesn't vanish when you reach a certain level of skill, wealth, or experience. Fear is always there, the doubt, the uncertainty, the what if it fails. But successful people respond differently. They act anyway. Fear is a signal, not a stop sign. It tells you that something matters, that growth is ahead, that you're stepping out of your comfort zone. Most people let it control them. They wait, hesitate, and settle. Successful people acknowledge fear, but they refuse to let it dictate their actions. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's choosing progress over avoidance. They separate danger from discomfort. Feeling uneasy doesn't mean you're in danger. It means you're stretching. It means you're learning. It means you're on the edge of something meaningful. They push forward, step by step, even when their heart races, their palms sweat, or their mind screams to retreat. Every act taken in the presence of fear builds confidence. Every time you move forward despite uncertainty, you prove to yourself that you can handle what comes next. Momentum is born from courage applied consistently, not from waiting until fear is gone. Successful people also understand that fear will come again and again. It's part of life. What changes is their response. They act despite it. They move when most would freeze. They turn discomfort into a compass, not a cage. So today, do one thing that scares you. Speak up, take the first step, try something new. Fear is temporary. Growth is lasting. Action transforms fear into opportunity, hesitation into progress, and doubt into self-trust. Courage is a habit, and every time you practice it, you become unstoppable. Chapter 10. They measure progress, not perfection. Perfection is a trap. It paralyzes, it frustrates, it keeps most people stuck chasing an impossible standard. Successful people don't wait for flawless execution or ideal circumstances, they focus on progress. Every small improvement, every lesson learned, every step forward counts. They track growth, not failure. They ask themselves questions like, what got better today? What did I learn? What can I adjust for tomorrow? This mindset shifts the focus from shame and judgment to curiosity and momentum. It transforms mistakes into feedback and setbacks into stepping stones. Progress compounds. Small, consistent actions, repeated day after day, create results far greater than occasional brilliance. Successful people celebrate the journey, not just the outcome. They understand that mastery is built through iteration, patience, and self-honesty, not sudden leaps. They also understand that comparison is dangerous. Progress is personal. It's about becoming more of who you're capable of being, not trying to match someone else's story. The only real benchmark is your past self today compared to yesterday, next month compared to this month. That's where growth lives. Perfection doesn't exist. Progress does. And the person who commits to consistent progress, no matter how small, compounds their efforts into extraordinary results over time. Every action matters. Every adjustment counts. Every day is an opportunity to move closer to the life you're capable of creating. So start measuring your growth, not your flaws. Celebrate small wins, learn from missteps, and focus on forward motion. Progress, not perfection, is what turns potential into achievement, dreams into reality, and effort into unstoppable momentum. Conclusion: becoming the person you're capable of being. By now, you've heard the patterns, habits, and mindsets that set successful people apart. You've learned that success isn't a destination, it's a way of living. It's the choices you make every day, the actions you take even when you're uncertain, and the small steps that compound into extraordinary results over time. Success isn't about luck. It's not about talent, connections, or being in the right place at the right time. It's about clarity, responsibility, courage, and consistency. It's about defining your own goals, building systems that work, managing your energy, learning from feedback, and acting despite fear. It's about progress, not perfection. The truth is simple: you don't need permission to start. You don't need to feel ready, flawless, or fearless. You need to start. Take responsibility for your life. Take one step, and then the next. Align your actions with your values. Choose your influences carefully. Build momentum through motion, not waiting. Every choice, every habit, every effort matters more than you realize. What separates those who achieve remarkable results from those who don't isn't magic, it's deliberate action. The person you're capable of being is already inside you. Every chapter of this book is a tool, a mindset, a reminder that your potential is not theoretical, it's practical, reachable, and ready to be built, one decision at a time. So take it with you. Define success for yourself, act boldly, learn relentlessly, and measure growth over time. Keep moving, keep building, and keep showing up for the life you are capable of creating. The journey is yours. The results are inevitable if you refuse to stop. You've read the roadmap. Now live it.